Hey everybody, welcome back to Canadian Politics. Today we're going to talk about transgenderism. But we have to start by making an important distinction, and that's the difference between gender and sex. Sex refers to biological, physical differences. For example, someone with the sex male will typically have male genitalia and chromosomes. This is the case 98% of the time. This isn't quite as simple as we would like it to be, as there are some complicating factors. The broad spectrum of complicating diagnoses are found under the umbrella term intersex. Examples of intersex include, but are not limited to, males being born with female genitalia, females being born with male genitalia, a male baby being born with 2 or 3 X chromosomes, or a female baby being born with a Y chromosome. These are rare conditions, but they still warrant noting here. Any older folks will recognize that some of these conditions have been known for a long time and are suddenly in the news again. The term hermaphrodite has been well known for a long time, and this is a subsection of intersex individuals. Their condition has been studied for decades. This is just to say that none of this is new. The headlines make it seem like these are brand new things, and that simply isn't the case. Now that we've defined sex and intersex, it's time to take a look at gender. Gender refers to things that people identify with or express. Most people identify with the gender that aligns with their physical sex. This is roughly 96% of the time. To break down gender one step further, there is gender identity and gender expression. For example, a female-born person feels that they are male in some significant way. This is typically some feeling of their body not matching internal expectations somehow, particularly presenting during puberty. This is an example of gender identity. In this case, a person identifies with a gender that isn't aligned with their sex. Now for gender expression. For example, a female-born person expresses themselves in distinctly male ways. The appearance they express could be with male clothing or hairstyles, an interest in typically male-dominated hobbies. Their mannerisms or way of speaking could all be typically male. In this case, a person expresses themselves with gendered style or mannerisms that aren't aligned with their sex. Again, this isn't a new phenomenon. Tomboys and cross-dressers have been common for decades and decades. Things are simply being grouped slightly differently to broaden the scope of behaviors we have seen as normal for years. So, to recap, sex is typically dictated by major biological markers, including chromosomes and genitalia. Gender is typically dictated by how a person feels, including body dysmorphia, and also how a person expresses themselves, including style, mannerisms, hobbies, and interests. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will go over Canada's health policies for transgender people and any policies that currently affect this group. See you next time for Canadian Politics.